Okay, so the first thing we need to do is just get an idea of, I guess, measurements here. Now, short of being able to go here, I've kind of estimated the width of this area to be about 16 meters. It could be more, but I'm going to hazard a guess that between width of the doors and things, that it's around about 16 meters wide. So what we'll do is we'll use that as a basic guide, and we'll take this image into Blender and then set it up so that it's kind of roughly sitting around about 16 units wide, and will allow us then to get cracking with some modelling. So this is how we do this. So in Blender, this is a default scene. Here we've got our cube, which we can use straight away. What we need to do first off is set the width of it. So I'm going to press N on my keyboard, and we can see here we've got the transform area of this cube. And what we're going to do, we've got location, rotation, scale, all set to zeros, and 1, which is great. We also have dimensions here as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to say that the width, which is x, is going to be about 16 units wide. Okay, now that gives us this. Now if you middle click on your mouse button and hold it down, you'll be able to kind of spin around a little bit, and if you use your mouse wheel in and out, you'll be able to zoom in and out. Okay, so this is what we're looking at basically. So that's all great, but what we need to do is get this background image in so we can see it properly and see it flat as well, because at the moment we're looking at this in perspective mode. So let's go ahead and do that now. The first thing we could do is we could press 1 on our number pad. That will give us a flat view like this. Okay. If you're on a laptop with no number pad, you do have to do one little thing in order for that to happen. You need to go into the File menu, go into User Preferences, and you need to, on the input area, you need to click Emulate Numpad, and that will allow you to, once you've done that, save as default. That will allow you to use the number keys across the top for the different things. So number 1 will take you into front, and in fact we can see this is still in the perspective, so we need to press number 5, and that will send us into orthographic, which is totally flat. And we can see the difference here. If I middle click and spin my mouse, you can see that there's no depth here. If I press number 5, there's depth, there's perspective. If I press number 5 again, it goes into orthographic mode. So we're going to use orthographic mode to do a lot of our modelling because it's nice and flat. Okay, so press number 1 again. So we're in here. If you press down Shift and Shift and the middle mouse button, we'll be able to kind of move this around and shift it around all we like. If you accidentally middle click and spin, you just need to press number 1 again. That will get you back into front orthographic. Okay. So we need to get some sort of background image in here. So let's have a look. If we go down to the side here, this is the transform menu again. If it's not there, press N on your keyboard, it will pop up. And what we want to do is go right down to the very bottom here and click on this background images area here. Okay, so if we click the little tick box and then choose add image, we get this little box here. What we need to do is click this little arrow here, and that will give us this open option. So we need to open an image, and the image that we're going to open is going to be not that one. Is going to be 3D reference Gatehouse front. Open. Okay, so now we can see the image here. Now it's hidden behind the object at the moment that we've used, the cube. So let's just press Z on the keyboard and that will turn us into wireframe mode. Okay, press Z again, it will switch us back into solid. Okay, so Z will flip between those. And what we want to do is we want to kind of position this so that it sits about 16 units wide. Now we could do 16 in here, but we're not going to because it's just too big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my size down here, and I'm going to use the X and Y sliders just to get a kind of rough width going on here. See? Maybe a little bit smaller, maybe about 9.5 maybe. And then I use my Y slider here and make it sit just on top of our red line. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I'm hoping you can. So now the red line here sits just on here. Okay, so the whole thing's sitting just on this red line, and that means that we can start to position the cube that we've made so that it sits nice and happily in place. Okay, so we'll do that next, look at getting it basically set up.